This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
You damn right. There's no question about it. Hey, do you guys know a good, like a good psychiatrist or somebody who knows a lot about the human brain?
I mean, I'm sure I could track somebody down, but nothing comes to the top of my head. No.
You said good or just somebody that kind of knows about it?
No, they'd have to be pretty good at it.
Okay, then no, I don't.
Oh, you're out of the mix?
Yeah.
So you were going to go with Brittany, but that didn't work.
I actually minored in psychology in college, but
you did?
Look at you.
Yeah.
What happened to your brain then? Is that
Exactly.
when it rotted?
Yeah, that's why they it was a pity degree at that point.
Well, maybe you could be our psychologist then. Because Tevin and I were just talking, and I was looking at the headlines today, and I watched some bits yesterday of news on both sides of the issue, and the hatred that people have for the other side just makes me want to. It's not real, folks. Those parties are there to make money for the people involved at the very top. They don't give a rat's ass about you. It's a money-making outfit. That's just what it is. You know, so getting pissed off, and I think I finally figured this out, and I'd like to get a psychologist on the show, excuse me, that would know something about this. My speculation, and Tevin and I were just talking about this, my speculation is that the more you spew your hatred of other people, whether it's of Republicans or Democrats or this person's skin color or that person's, gender or whatever it is, if you're puking up hatred at them, it's really the fact that you don't like yourself. Because if you were comfortable with yourself and you liked yourself, you wouldn't waste a minute attacking somebody that viciously. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so vicious and horrible, the things. I literally watched, what's the guy's name? Piers Morgan, the British guy.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
I watched him, and he had 3 liberals and 2, I guess he considers himself to be kind of middling. So you had on 2 far righties and 2 far lefties, 3 far lefties. All they did was bitch at each other. They got nothing accomplished. Nobody got a good point across. It was just what an asshole you are. And I'm telling you, in my experience, like my father, as an example, my father, in my opinion, hated himself. And therefore, all of that spewed forth on other things. And he died at 60 because of it. If you want to keep wasting your time hating yourself and therefore trying to spew it on other people, you're trying to redirect it and it's not working. Why do you want to live your life hating other people? Because you really just hate yourself. I want to know.
Yeah, I think that's probably the $1 million question, because there's a lot of people that spend, I think, more time throughout the day hating other people for whether it's, political things or just, somebody cut me off in traffic and now I'm going to let me bother let that bother me the rest of the day.
Absolutely.
And so it's like, if everybody just kind of, take a deep breath, find something to enjoy in life and focus on that rather than, every little thing, because you'll waste your whole day and your whole life being angry.
No question about it. And to have a partner in life like Catherine, I don't consider being my partner. I mean, I know who the boss is, so, I'm not really a partner in this deal, but just the way, but I'm very lucky in the fact that I adore this woman. She loves me deeply. I guess I'm very, very lucky in that situation that I can be secure in the fact that I have a wife that I love. She loves me, our children, our grandchildren. I have all my friends. I have to put up with you two, which is not great, but
Makes sense.
But why don't we have anybody stepping up and saying, hey, all of this is all about, you're just directing away from yourself because mom or dad didn't like you. Mom or dad said you were a turd, or, you're carrying that with you your whole life. Don't do that. You're wasting your life away. Honestly, I've never understood the whole situation. And I guess I'll close with this. The reason I'm convinced that this is the deal, because they always have to have a bad guy. No matter if it's, Trump is a horrible guy or Kamala Harris is a horrible human being. And, oh, God, Joe Biden is this and that and the other thing. You're just redirecting. Try to maybe find something about yourself that you love. And then let's start over. Right.
Yeah, and the thing about that is like these companies, they're selling a narrative, Tom.
Oh,
why,
yeah.
and if you look at like Marvel and they had Thanos, if you look at Batman and DC Comics and all that stuff, they have the Joker. That's their villain. You look at any movie, any TV show, there's somebody that has to be the fixation of.
That's correct.
It's not interesting. There's nothing to sell if there is no villain. So,
Well, that's a very, very good point. But can we leave fantasy where it belongs?
oh yeah, I wish we could, but I feel like they.
No, we can't.
I feel like they'd often tiptoe over the line of fantasy or of reality into fantasy sometimes.
Yeah, I think so. You're just wasting your life, like I said. And again, I'll use my father as an example. This guy was a brilliant man. He was very smart. I got a feeling that maybe mom and dad, my grandparents, didn't treat him all that well when he was a little kid. And, he used to kick people's asses back in the early 1900s or the mid 1900s, I guess it would have been. But I mean, I use him as a prime example. He could have been so much more than he was, but he hated himself. It didn't come across direct. You had to know where to look in order to find it. But he really did. Just a brilliant man who ended up, because people told him his whole life he was a piece of shit. He believed it, apparently. It's unfortunate. I would have liked to had a father that didn't go off the deep end and all the rest of it, but I don't hold it against him. I don't hate my father. I never did hate my father. I felt sorry for him a lot. So maybe where's the sorrow part of it? Let's feel sorry for people who can't function properly. What do you say? Instead of I hate your choice, it's like, well, you're not making the choice that I would make. It'd be interesting to know why you're making the choice opposite of mine. Why do you want to do that? I mean, you might be able to learn something that way, right?
Yeah, it's about coming to some sort of middle ground and seeing eye to eye, like what their perspective is. I think that's something that maybe just with time, like people have lost, where
no question
they refuse to kind of have that different perspective on things and look at the other side. Like, you have your side of the coin, and that on one side, it's George Washington's head, and it was made in 1933 or whatever, and blah blah blah. On the other side, they see the eagle, and they know that all this other stuff, blah blah blah. But you got to flip the coin every once in a while. You got to see from that person's perspective.
That's a good way to put it. As a matter of fact, look, me looking into this, I'm trying to better myself too. Don't get me wrong. You look into things because you figure like, well, do I want to get involved in any of this stuff? I did back in the past. Like I said, I've been a Democrat. I've been a Republican. I'm now very centrist in the fact that I got nowhere to go right now because it's just too extreme on both sides. Look, I like Democrats and Republicans. It's the extremists that you have to accept yourself for what you are and go forward and actually like yourself. And maybe even someday you could get to the point where you love yourself, not in an arrogant pain in the ass way, but just, hey, you know what? Life is pretty damn good. It's the only life you got. And you want to be in a horseshit mood the whole time. Really? Right. So listen, all of these party leaders are just squeezing you and making you feel like shit because they make a lot of money from that. I mean, what was it? The donation for Kamala Harris was what, $231 million? Did you see that figure?
Is that what they're up to total now?
I guess so. It's like, what? Everybody's bitching about being broke and everything's too expensive and everything's horrible, but apparently you can give $250 million to a presidential candidate. What the hell?
Yeah, what did I see that has been like backtracked now? But Elon Musk had like at one point
45 million
pledged to do 45 million a month to Trump in his campaign,
right.
And then when he was confronted about it over the past couple of days, he kind of like, well, I never actually said that. I really don't want to. I don't really plan on that. Even though there's like you can find a reply of him being like, yeah, I guess I'll do that.
Yes,
but I mean, if you have 45 million a month to just kind of for a political campaign kind of just pass away. I mean, it's like you got better stuff to spend money on.
There's no I don't care how much money I had. There's no president I'm giving $45 million to a month.
No.
Absolutely not.
There's nobody I like enough.
No.
Have you ever?
No.
I don't think I have either. I can't pick out one politician that I would say, God, you did a great job and you're a good person.
I don't know that I would give my mother $45 million a month to run for president.
I'm not sure I'd give myself that much a month. I don't even like myself that much.
See, there we are, back to the point. You don't like yourself enough to be the president of the United States. There you have it.
Or do you like yourself enough to know not to be the president of the United States? I think that would be.
I think that's just being
way
a
to go.
rational
Yep.
person.
Yeah, very, very true. So we'll leave it with this. I mean, yeah, try to make your life better. Try to make everybody's life better by making your life better. Calm the hell down. It ain't going to happen overnight. Just kind of ease into it. Like I said, I've been trying to work on myself for, all my whole life here, and I'm not even close to getting where I want to be. But you don't want to be sitting on a bench at 85 years old going, I'm going to die in about an hour. God, I did the horseshit job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then you go, but remember that argument I got to on Facebook about Donald Trump back in 2022? Yeah. Worth it.
God, honest to God, it is absolutely. Calm down, ladies and gentlemen. Relax. I just love the fact that we don't have any money to spend, but we got billions of dollars to give to these political candidates because you actually believe they're going to try to make your life better. What a joke.
I don't understand how there's not a cap on what they can spend.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
That blows
with
my
you.
mind, but whatever.
All right. We're just trying to improve the world here, ladies and gentlemen. But again, start with yourself. Try to like yourself. Eventually try to love yourself because you're going to be a much better person. Tom Barnard here for Livia Weight Control Centers. Your success story starts with Livia. When you join Livia's doctor-recommended and award-winning nutrition program, you will receive 50% off. And Livia Medical is offering $75 instant savings on GLP-1 medications. Whatever you need to make your weight loss journey a success, it starts with Livia. You will get personalized, one-on-one support, expert nutrition and medical support. Choose a trusted leader serving our communities for 15 years. I'm going the next step with the GLP-1 medications. They have really, really worked for me. You don't even notice that you're not hungry. You just aren't hungry. And again, it's not so glaring that you go, oh my God, I am never hungry. You just kind of live your life that way. So I'll tell you, as things go, today will be my first shot of the new GLP-1, the different level, the top level, I guess it is. So I'll let you know how it's going. But that really does help. No question about it. So here's the deal. Visit livia.com. That's LIVEA.com, or call 855-GO-LIVIA and receive 50% off Livia's nutrition plan. Plus, if you join Livia Medical, you'll get $75 instant savings on their GLP-1 medications, semaglutide, tirzepatide. Visit livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Accelerate your success with Livia.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
You damn right, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Bryant, Bradshaw & Bryant. Mike Lindell. Let's talk about Mike Lindell for a second and MyPillow employees. I want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. Thank you. They're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM. You'll get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived. Will not last long. 6-pack towel sets, only $29.98, and take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses, mattress toppers, 100% made in the USA. Well, they're on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb, dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM. You get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146 or just go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You damn right, ladies and gentlemen. And now Judd Zulgad, SKOR North. the biggest victory yesterday, I think, in several years for your Minnesota Twins. I'm serious about that.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Hard fought game. That was a huge victory. I mean, I
Yep.
got to watch that game and I was very happy about it. To come back and win 2 out of 3 from Philadelphia is no small task. It's no small feat. Philadelphia is a damn good baseball team.
Oh, they're really good. And to come back from 3 down and to have, Kepler get the hit to walk things off in the 9th.
Yep.
The only problem was Byron Buxton got hit by a pitch in the forearm, and he had to leave with a bruise, and hopefully it's not too serious because they're already down. Well, they're supposed to be getting Royce Lewis back here on Friday, which if things went well, and I think that they did with his rehab in St. Paul, so that's good news. Correa's still a ways out. He didn't go on this road trip that's going to start Friday in Detroit.
Right.
And, Buxton's just been so important because he's been really good at the plate, but just as importantly in center field, he is, he makes so many plays that most guys don't make. So, but I agree with you. I mean, the Phillies came in as the best team in baseball, and they are outstanding. And for the Twins to win 2 or 3, especially to go back to that stat that we talked about. I think I told you when the series started, the Twins were something like 2-19 against the 6 teams that were better than them this season. And now they have 4 wins, which is not super impressive, but yes, getting the 2 wins and winning series consistently against good and bad teams is what's going to get you in the playoffs. Unfortunately, now the Twins didn't beat Milwaukee when Cleveland was slumping, and now Cleveland's come back and won a couple of games, and so the Twins are still 5 back. So it's bizarre. Like if Cleveland struggles, the Twins sort of struggle, and at some point in time, if that breaks up, the Twins can actually catch them.
Well, which at this point, again, I hope that coach can step up and go, you guys need to understand what you just did. What you did coming back from behind and winning a game, the walk-off hit.
Yep.
That was a huge victory. Those are the kinds of things you saw in 87, 91, that they would all of a sudden come out of nowhere and win a game you didn't think they had a chance of winning. Yeah. Most people in the 7th inning would have said, there's no way they're going to win this game. Not a chance. Philadelphia's too good. Well, I hope Rocco needs to hang that score up on the wall and go, hey, man, if we could beat that team, we could beat anybody, and we beat them 2 out of 3. We can beat anybody, and they have to believe that.
And they did it without Correa.
Yep.
Who's been their best player. Royce Lewis has hurt so much that it's hard to talk about him as a missing piece because he's a really good player, but he's not there so much. But, yeah, they have they've got guys out. They beat Philly 2 or 3. Detroit's playing well now, and they're going to Detroit, and so that should be a tougher series than it was earlier this season. But yeah, it's interesting because you're not wrong. You sort of get the feeling that if they can just continue to win series, and as you said, there's been some of these plucky Twins teams. 87 was a very plucky team.
Unbelievable.
Like the 91 team was legitimately really good. The 87 team, I'm not saying they weren't good, but they were more plucky than they were, I think, really good.
You're right.
But it's fun to watch. And the good news is there are reports now, because there was a court hearing yesterday with this Diamond Sports Group, which runs Bally Sports North, that they are close to an agreement with Comcast that would return the Twins to Comcast. So it means I could watch them again.
So I won't have to spend $200 a month just to watch my Twins.
You'll have to subscribe to Comcast, and that's going to cost you a pretty penny. And it sounds like it might be on a tiered system. So it's going to be on a sports tier or something like that. I don't know yet. But at this point, I don't care. If they're a playoff team, I just want to watch the damn games.
Yeah, I pick them up all year. I've gotten all the games on DirecTV, which I found out when we're still in Florida. And so I've been able to watch all the games that I've wanted to, but it ain't cheap, I'll tell you that.
Oh no, and my Comcast bill's ridiculous. I just I can't cut the cord, because then you're, and if you're young, it's great, but you're finding a stream here, there, blah, blah, blah. I'm too old for that crap. I'm used to cable.
No question about it. I still look back at being, I guess I was 25 years old when I first got home box office. Boy, I was a very big deal in the neighborhood, babe. He's got this thing. It's called Home Box Office. It's unbelievable.
Oh, you got HBO early, huh?
Oh, God, I was one of the first people to get it, I think. I was working at Capitol Records, thought I was a big deal. It's like, oh, I'm going to get HBO.
Nice.
Did I ever watch it? No, but I got it.
Well, that's still cool, though. That's still
Yeah,
cool.
interesting.
My favorite old school thing was the old dishes. Satellite,
those too.
People in their yards would have the massive satellite dish. And back then, nothing was scrambled or blacked out for the most part. You could watch, any sporting event, any game, West Coast, East Coast. And if you had the dish and the subscription through that, you could get everything. I miss those ugly eyesores.
I understand what you're saying. As a matter of fact, we got one when we lived out in Dayton, Minnesota on a 25-acre horse farm. Okay. So we got a dish. You know who talked me into getting the dish?
Hold on. What years, like, approximately?
This would have been 1986, I think.
Herbeck?
Maybe. No, it wasn't Herbeck.
Okay.
But you're in the right area. It was a sports figure.
Well, yeah, because
not necessarily a player, but a sports figure. I can give you a hint.
Sid.
You got it. It was Sid Hartman.
Look at the dish.
All right, let me just tell you something. You need to get a dish. You got to cover the sports. I miss Sydney like a sumbitch. Like I said, his son and I are really good friends. Really like him. But Sydney was the best. When I would piss somebody off, Bernard, let's meet at the Lake Adele. I got to talk to you. You're going after the wrong people. Sid would get so wound up about it. I loved being a friend of Sid's.
I know, and he had the fire of a 40-year-old into his 80s. He finally slowed down at the end, but my God, you talk about fiery.
He was 100 years old when he died.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. Sydney at 100. It just shows basically the one thing, and I did say this to him, not really at the very end, but heading that way. I said, Sid, you're going to live to be 100. You know what that tells me? You've never worked a day in your life. That's what it tells me. What are you talking about?
Nobody works harder than me.
Nobody works harder than me. That's exactly right.
I'm out there every day. And he was driving around for a long time, which is a whole nother batch of stories.
Oh yeah, the driving part. No question about it. But yeah, I mean, it's just, look, I'm not saying this is the feeling I got in 1991 or even 1987, but that was a very, very big game to win. I hope people understand how important that was to win that game.
Yeah, you're right. I hope now by next Tuesday's trade deadline that they do add a starting pitcher, though.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
I think this team deserves that.
They got their eyes on anybody?
Well, that's the problem is one, we don't know how much payroll they will be willing to take on. Now, if you take on an expiring contract, it's only a prorated share of the contract. So it's not like the full thing, but we don't know that. And the other thing is because there's so many damn teams because of the wild cards in the races,
right?
That there's not that many teams that necessarily are going to be selling. So the competition for the guys that are available is going to be intense, and that's going to be, some good prospects. So we'll see. But I think this team is definitely, to what you're talking about, shown management they deserve some help.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's very, very exciting to watch that game. I'm excited about the team because that was a big one. I mean, that's what you watch for as a baseball fan. There are certain games you have to win this game, and that's all there is to it.
Or if you do, it's a real wake up call to whoa, that was impressive. And you're right, that was and to win 2 of 3 when they went into that series. Now it's baseball, so it's such a weird sport, which is why I love it. But when they went into that series facing 3 starting pitching studs, right?
Yes, right.
And they just lost 2 to the Brewers. You're like, they're probably going to lose. I mean, they'll probably be lucky to win 1 of the 3.
Yes.
And what makes baseball so wacky and fun is they won 2 of the 3. And furthermore, in the case of yesterday's game, the starter for the Phillies was really good. And Twins, the Twins started an opener, Stephen Egert, then brought in a kid to eat up the bulk of the middle of the game. But the point is, this is impressive not because the Phillies stunk. This is impressive because the Twins stuck with it.
That is exactly right. I mean, yeah, the Phillies didn't fall apart or anything like that. The Twins flat out beat them. It wasn't like the Phillies handed them the game.
No,
the Twins won that game with good play.
Absolutely.
Very exciting. That's all I'm saying. Got to keep moving forward.
And now training camp has started for the Vikings.
Oh,
we're underway. We're underway, and I got some bad news already.
Oh, God. What now? Kevlar knows about it.
Second-year cornerback Mekhi Blackman, who was going to, I think, very much compete for a starting job, towards the end of the first practice of the entire year, okay? He tore his ACL. He's out for the season.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
Yeah, they need to move the DB room to a different part of the TCO Performance Center because that room is cursed. We have people die, we've had 2 cornerbacks die, like, now Mekhi Blackman tears his ACL.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yep, something's not right over there.
I think they're going to have to sign a corner though because they're pretty depleted now.
Yeah,
they're pretty depleted. So I think they're. I would guess that they're going to sign a veteran. But anyway, yeah, that was the bad news. The good news is the Sam Darnold to Justin Jefferson connection midseason form. Tom.
Whoa, there you go.
Looked really good. There was a 50-yard touchdown pass.
Really?
In team drills, which is 11 on 11. There was a couple of nice connections there. Yeah, it was Sam Darnold's got an arm. I'll say that for him. He's got an arm.
So you're telling me I should be driving down to Iowa and putting a couple dollars down on the Vikings to win the Super Bowl is what you're saying. We're Super Bowl bound?
Oh, no question about it. No question about it. I'm just glad that you have to make a 2.5-hour drive because we can't have sports gambling here. That's the smart thing.
What is their reason for that? Why can't you bet on sports in Minnesota? It makes no sense.
I think it has to do with the tribal casinos here that don't want sports gambling in the mainstream. Oh, it's all political. Well, yeah, I mean, it's always political, but it makes no sense because do you know how many schools, stadiums, and whatever else we would desire that we could build if we had gambling?
Yeah, and from what I've heard, the biggest thing is essentially they can't all agree on how to split up all the money that would be made.
Oh, really?
From gambling. So they're like, they want to do it, but hey, we want 45% to go here, and we need some of it to go here, and everybody's like, well, no, I want more money than everybody else is getting.
We also seem to drag our heels on anything that is that is maybe sinful in this state.
Yeah.
Like Sunday liquor sales. It's like, hold on a second here. You got an opportunity and but gambling's a problem. It's going to create more problems. If you're addicted to gambling, you're going to find a way to gamble.
Mm-hmm. Here's what I love. Oh, gambling's addictive. It's horrible. But give them free fentanyl if they need it. It's like, you can't make that argument. Oh, God, I just hate that. Sports gambling is much worse than fentanyl. Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
It's gateway drug.
Gateway drug. I think that's the gate and then some.
Yeah, it's the gate and then some.
Yeah, that'll just kill you, right? Fentanyl.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, it's incredibly frustrating and it's incredibly dumb that Tevin, who wants to take his hard-earned cash from this show and probably flush it down the toilet, has to go to Iowa. He has to give Iowa his money to do that. That's what's sad.
Yep.
You know what, though? Well, Fatino's isn't open anymore, but there's some good restaurants in Des Moines. So that's a little further, but what the hell?
Oh, yeah. So I don't get that. No offense to people from Iowa. I don't get that deep into Iowa if I go. I'm
over the border.
Right to the border to Diamond Joe's and back.
As soon as the geo fence is like, all right, he's there. He can place that place, and he's back over.
That works. What the hell? So what do you got planned for the weekend, Pally?
Vikings practices.
Oh, you're going to go out there every day?
Oh, yeah. Go out there every day for SKOR North. We do our Vikings Purple Daily Show. I come back. I give the boys updates and notes. Yeah. This is a big time of year for us. Excitement.
I suppose, yeah. Well, that if they could just win a Super Bowl some year, that'd be real. I've been waiting now for 60 some years.
Yes.
64 years.
Yes, and you haven't even seen him get to a Super Bowl since January 77.
77. Oh, my. I mean, that's 47 years ago, for Christ's sake.
I know.
47 years, they haven't even been to a Super Bowl.
So many chances, too.
Whatever works, whatever. I hate everyone and everything. That's all I have to say.
It doesn't work. That's the problem, though.
No, it doesn't.
It's
No,
not
doesn't.
working.
All right, Pally, we'll have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Awesome. See you guys. Bye.
Okay. Judd Zulgad, SKOR North. He'll be out there. Vikings headquarters. That is, I haven't been inside that complex. Just driving by that complex. Pretty amazing.
It's a nice little setup they got.
Oh, it looks like it's really nice.
Mhm.
And they have a hotel right there? And is that where the guys stay for the,
I don't know if the players stay there during camp, or maybe for part of it, but
I think they've had like rookies, or like if you're new to the team and they want you to like build, if you're not like a seasoned vet or whatever, they want you to build a chemistry and a repertoire in the facilities. Yeah, they might do that just to have you close.
No question. I just got a text message from a friend of mine that I was talking about. I won't say who it was. You know him, but whatever. He said, Tommy, remember that way back in the day when you and I were joking around about buying the Minnesota Twins? They were on sale for $35 million. What are they worth now? About $2 billion?
At least.
Yeah, I would say
at least.
Baseball teams are always way more expensive than you think.
They are very expensive. Could you imagine if we had put together enough guys to buy the team for $35 million, then turn it around and sell it for $2 billion? God.
Although, would you sell? Because you're a lifelong Twins fan. Like for me, if let's say I came into a bunch of money and was able to get a hell of a deal to buy the Vikings, I don't know that there's really a dollar amount that you could offer me to sell the Vikings to somebody.
Maybe.
It'd have to be late in my life.
Yes.
No doubt about it. The Vikings, the Twins, Timberwolves now. Have they ever figured out who the hell owns that team now?
I think it's a owner by committee thing at this point.
Still?
It's like a custody battle. It's every other weekend, and then sometimes on Wednesdays.
Every other holiday.
Yeah.
And on my birthday, I get the team. That's all there is to it.
Yes.
We'll take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Moving forward, when you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too, and I'm not kidding. I talk to Josh every week. He understands the market, the economy. He knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh, 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments, of course, involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's, do not constitute investment advice, and I am a paid endorser.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Alley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Austin Bartz of Bartz Lawn and Landscape and Bartz Snow Sculptures.
I started banking with North American, I think, 3.5 years ago. All the people know me by name. I know them by name. It's fun to come into the bank and actually talk to somebody you know. So I made the switch and I'm very happy. It's the best bank I've ever been at.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or do what I do and stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You are indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. Chris Egert joining us now. What's in the news, man?
Good morning, Tomas. How are you?
Tomas Sandstrom. Magnificent, as a matter of fact. The weather's been terrific, just kind of hanging out. Had a nice night last night. You ever watch the show Endeavor? It's a British show.
I've heard of it. No, what time's it air? Probably airs past bedtime.
Well, the problem is that if you're still watching stuff at what time they naturally air, you got to wake up to the fact that it's 2024. What? He goes, what? Yeah, that you can watch TV shows whenever you want, Chris. I don't know if you know that or not. Except for your news. That's the only thing you can't.
What do you have, bunny ears on top of your TV?
I actually do. Yes, I'm a over-the-air person. Tevin, thank you very much.
You
I
are.
don't have cable. I don't. What platform's it on? I'm sorry. I should have.
It's on Google Television. It's on Prime TV.
Yep.
It's on. There's one other one. There's 3 of them.
It's Endeavor. What's it about?
It's about a young guy whose name is actually Endeavor, and he's a detective. I suppose it's, I don't even know if it's in London or not. I know it's in England, but I don't know if it's in London or not. But it's about this guy and his partner. Detective Thursday is the other guy, or Chief Thursday, whatever the hell his title is.
Well, look at them with their unique names.
Yeah, see, Thursday and Endeavor. What do you think of that action?
Wow.
But it's a very good cop show. It's done very, very well. A lot of psychology involved in why these crimes are being committed.
Yeah, that sounds
really
cool.
good. It is good. Very good acting.
So wait, you can watch that whenever you want by just going to Amazon Prime.
Hey, where's the TV guide, Catherine? I can't find the TV guide.
Crazy concept, Chris.
It's right next to the Reader's Digest.
I don't understand this. I need more time to acclimate to this idea.
Chris is like, Amazon? You mean the bookstore? The bookseller? They do TV now?
This came up yesterday on the show, and I did get a text message from a listener that said he found a cassette and he showed it to his children, and they had no idea what it was.
Hell no, of course not.
No clue what that. He goes, look, well, you know what this is? No, what is that? What's that? Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that makes sense. This is how old of a fleet of cars that we have at our house. I think 3 of the 4 cars have CD players.
Oh, there you go.
And I think maybe even my wife's has a tape player in it. But anyway, it's just so funny. My kids know what a CD is, but that's like that's the end of their. That's as far back as they go. So a cassette tape, I can't. I don't even know if I could find anything to play a cassette on anymore. I know I don't have anything. I know I don't have anything in my house.
Remember how cool you thought you were the first time you put a disc into the dashboard of your car? It's like, ooh.
Oh, yeah. Or when burning CDs was a thing and you had to pick the top 18 songs that you wanted to put on this disc, and we're going to go for a little ride in the car and rock out. Yeah.
Yep. I miss that. I do like having, I don't know. I like, because the playlist now, you get it on your phone and you add to it and you add to it and you add to it. And next thing you know, your playlist is like 975 songs. So then versus the like 10 to 20 on that disc that you burned, because that was all that would fit on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Oh, absolutely.
AJ, I'd like to apologize. Tom, if I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine.
I want to apologize to AJ. I was leaving the TV station yesterday and he was pulling in, and I looked and I'm like, oh, it's AJ. And I went and I waved and I gave you like, I don't know how to say this in a non-offensive way. I gave you like the wimpiest wave when I saw you. Like I'm normally like, hey, peace, or hey, bro, or whatever. And I saw you and I'm like, I said,
Did
Really
you make
nice.
that noise in your
Yeah,
car?
make that
Yeah,
noise again.
He had his
And
window.
then
I heard that noise.
Yeah, there
Didn't
you
you
go.
though? Because I after I noticed it was you too late, I was like, and I like waved over my hand, and then I felt like such a dork.
No, what it looked like is I didn't see it till like last second. I didn't realize it was you.
Yeah.
So I'm turning and I kind of like we made eye contact, and all of a sudden you made like the last ditch effort to like acknowledge it. So you like slammed your fist against, like it wasn't even a wave. It was like you just slammed it against the window. And I was like, okay, that's a wave.
Let's go with that. That's what it was then. It
That's-
was
that's
definitely
how I took it.
wasn't. It definitely wasn't what I said it was. Tom, have you ever considered when you were a lad getting a job out at the old state fairgrounds for the couple weeks?
Never, not even for 1 second could I have put up with people face to face in retail.
But
not a chance.
But they're not all forward facing jobs. Like there's a lot of jobs
Oh, I
there
suppose,
you
yeah,
could
that's true.
get that wouldn't be that. I bring this up because the fair is hiring. They got it. There's
Okay.
that is the like. Listen, we're under a month now until the fair starts, so they are full on in their hiring blitz. I don't think you need to pick up any part time work now at this point in your life. I was just
Probably
curious.
not. Maybe I
was
could
just-
though.
I was just curious if at some point you'd ever, gone out there and gotten a fair job.
Well, I'll be honest with you. The first time I ever even went to the state fair, I was working at WDGY in 1975. So I was 24 before I even worked at the fair.
So you were Catman out at the fair.
I was Catman at the fair. It's Catman on the radio.
Nice.
No question. DGY with Catman.
Dude, I'll tell you what, I love those clips of you as Catman. That's like the coolest crap.
Where the hell did you get those?
I got them for that story I did on you a couple years ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. There you
Dude,
go.
that was so fun going through. There's some really like random websites out there that archive some old audio. And I mean, you can tell the website itself is very antiquated, but the fact that they've got that stuff archived was really cool. So yeah, I had a good time walking through the Tom Barnard Hall of Fame.
If we can take a walk here, I've had this stashed on.
Oh,
the computer for a
here
while.
we go.
And I don't know if this is actually you, Tom. So can you confirm that this is you? This was emailed to us by.
That is me.
That is you.
It is, yes. A little heavier then. That's not a hat, by the way. That was a brain infection that I had.
You look like Karnak.
I look
Great
like
Karnak.
Karnak the Magnificent.
For those of you that aren't watching on YouTube, make sure you go to YouTube because Tom is wearing. It looks like you are like at a reservation in Margaritaville with your sunglasses and like a sombrero on your head.
And that's about the biggest smile I've ever had right there. That was a big
That's
smile.
funny. That's you smiling.
That's me smiling right there. Yes.
I do see the lip curled a little bit on the edges. It looks like a smile.
Yeah. You know what? That you're right. There is a little curling on the edges, but God, thanks. No, that's really great. The week's ruined now after only 4 days. It's fantastic.
No, it was a great trip down memory lane.
A trip down memory lane. Where the hell would I even gotten that hat?
I don't know. There's a lot of questions that I have.
Yeah.
I want to know what. Like,
Yeah,
what
there you
do you
go.
remember what you were doing that day?
Drinking.
Do you think I was having a schweel or two? Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I tell you what, if the people in my era of radio, if the officials, the law enforcement officials ever found out how much alcohol was consumed on the air because that flat out illegal. You can't be drinking and going on the air, right? But they didn't enforce it back in the day. Let me put it that way, if you know what I mean.
Or maybe not that they wouldn't have enforced it. It's just that it was, a little more socially acceptable to.
There's a lot of using going on. That's true.
Back in the day, it was a little the old break between the 6 o'clock and the 10 o'clock news.
Oh God.
There'd be a go out and have a throw a couple back, have a burger, come back, do the 10.
I love this guy. I absolutely love this guy, but I used to go sit at the court bar with Dave Moore all the time between the 6 and 10. I love Dave Moore. Did you ever get to know him? Brilliant man. He's a great speaker. Just a great guy, too. A wonderful man. He really
Heard good things.
One of the best of all time. No question about it. Yeah, it's one thing that Minneapolis, St. Paul need to understand. And I'm not talking about Chris here, but all the rest of everybody. We have had some of the most magnificent news reporters. And I noticed that first when I went to New York. When I moved to New York, and I said, these news anchors are horrible. It's time for the news, ladies and gentlemen. It's that delivery they're doing.
Oh, God, I hate that. That's right, everybody. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, stop.
Did people realize how good the news is in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and how many great people they've had on the air here?
I mean, I don't know how many people have lived other places to get a broader view of sort of what the level of professionalism is in this market, but it's very good having worked in many different places around the country. It's definitely a high level. So
no question about it. Look, I think it's been a hell of an honor meeting some of the people that I've met over the years. Bob Ryan was a great guy. I already talked about Dave Moore, the Majors brothers. I mean, you go down the list of all these people. It's a damn good news market. I think Chicago and Minneapolis are the two best news markets in the United States.
Chicago's good too. I was just there watching them. So
it's true. God, it makes me really uncomfortable to be nice to people. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, in fairness, you're sort of just being nice in general. You're not specifically.
That's true.
So
very true.
All right. Well, you guys want to check back at our website at some point this morning. We've been following this story, and I got to go, but we've been following the story of there's been a couple of dog attacks where kids have been hurt. And we're just kind of finding out as I was coming in here from a GoFundMe page that one of the little kids, it sounds like they're going through the organ donation process right now.
Oh,
so
God, that's terrible.
Kid's not going to make it from a dog attack. We'll put a link on our website, I'm sure, to the GoFundMe if people would like to help the family, because it's just obviously, nobody's prepared to deal with that kind of thing. So I just want to let you guys know that before I go. So
was it the same dog in both attacks, or just
no? A couple different cases of attacks that happened. Okay. So
in what neighborhood?
I think one of them for sure was Brooklyn Park.
Mm-hmm.
So
terrible.
Yeah. Anyway, just that's something for your listeners to keep in mind, because this family's going to need a lot of help. So
excellent. Well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you guys have a good rest of your day.
You too. See you. Talk to you tomorrow. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation. 952-925-5608. Take a break. Be right back. Little schmoozing right after this. Tom Barnard here for Livia Weight Control Centers. Your success story starts with Livia. When you join Livia's doctor-recommended and award-winning nutrition program, you will receive 50% off, and Livia Medical is offering $75 instant savings on GLP-1 medications. Whatever you need to make your weight loss journey a success, it starts with Livia. You'll get personalized one-on-one support, expert nutrition, medical support. Choose a trusted leader, serving our communities for 15 years. I want to thank Tyler again for popping on to the show. People really did like that interview because he was a nice guy. Lost 115 pounds.
Yeah, crazy.
Those pictures were terrific. They sent us pictures of him at about 310, and then the pictures of him at 185 pounds. I mean, it's just 125 pounds, a guy, 115, 120, whatever it was. But I mean, it's just, once again, we want to bring that stuff forward because it's proof. In my case, I've lost about 90 pounds in the last couple of years, and 45 of that, or maybe even 50 of that, is Livia. It works. There's no doubt. Visit Livia.com. That's LIVEA.com, or call 855-GO-LIVIA and receive 50% off Livia's nutrition plan. Plus, if you join Livia Medical, you'll get $75 instant savings on their GLP-1 medications, semaglutide and tirzepatide. Visit Livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Accelerate your success with Livia.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever. When you use promo code TOM, you get free shipping on your entire order. You get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. So call 800-516-5146. Go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings 8 to 9:30 or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombernardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. The friendliest and unfriendliest states to visit. I have not clicked on this story yet. Any guess on the friendliest and the most unfriendly state you've ever been in? I guess it wouldn't be a guess. You would know this.
I'm going to say unfriendliest because I know they are a town where if you wear another sports team, another, anything like that, Philadelphia.
There you go, baby. That is Philly.
That's my guess for unfriendly. So when it comes to friendliest, I feel like the cop out is Minnesota just because like Minnesota and ice and everything. But I'm going to branch out and maybe say like Maine or something. So, you know,
that's good.
Somewhere in that Vermont, maybe New Hampshire area where it's
there
like,
you go.
You don't know a lot what's going on there, but they're just happy to have you.
What about your father's strawberries?
What about your father's strawberries?
Yeah, I'm going to go Boston for the unfriendliest. And then it'll be somewhere like Montana or like in Montana or like Idaho.
One
like
of the Great Plains.
Yeah, somewhere out there for friendly.
Okay. I might, let's see. I got to go with the friendliest state I've ever been in. I gotta say Florida. People in Florida are all very happy because the weather's great and they're always in a good mood. I mean, got some real pricks down there, but not where I live.
I was gonna say,
these are friendliest states or cities?
Yeah, that's true. See, that
because that might change it. But yeah, I guess if it's states, then yeah, I don't know for unfriendliest. I feel like is there one where the whole state sucks? Probably. I mean, Florida. I guess if you're gonna say Tom.
Well, I was gonna say I don't know if Tom's. I know you've talked about how like when the first time you were in New York, you got in a cab or whatever, and you were like, "Nice day out," and he goes, "Oh, is it?"
Oh, is it?
And I know you like that. That doesn't seem very friendly to me, but to you, I
thought
know you
it
think
was
that's
wonderful.
super friendly. Yeah,
I thought it was magnificent. I'm going to be very honest with you, and some people are not going to like this at all, but the unfriendliest state I've ever been in is Minnesota, by far. The people in this state, and look, there's some great people in the state. Do not get me wrong, wonderful people. I mean, you people have supported me my whole career. But those people that are in charge of the state are the least friendly human beings I have ever dealt with in my entire life. They're very judgmental, and you will do things our way. Look, once again, if they have to come up with a slogan, Minnesota nice, how nice could they be? Why do you have to tell me how nice you are? No, there's that whole society here of being very judgmental. And the number one thing I don't like about some people, and this is not everybody in Minnesota, there are wonderful people in Minnesota, but the people that tend to be in charge, it's you either do it my way or I'm not going to deal with you at all. I mean, they're just very pushy that way. Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, and I think some people can be pushy, I guess, and then there's some that, like working in the service industry for a long time, you get a lot of entitled people, I feel like, that tend to come in, but I don't know, I feel like most people are pretty nice that I encounter every day in Minnesota.
Yeah, I think that I would agree with that. Absolutely. There's some wonderful people, but it's the people in charge, the people who can actually harm you. The writers in this state are some of the worst people I've ever had to deal with. They're very judgmental. They lie their asses off about what you did and what you're all about. I just had some very bad experiences in this state with the press and people in charge. Even AARP went after me one time. It's like, you're retired. Shut up. Right? I mean, you guys get my point, don't you?
I've just never
AARP. Yeah, that's wild.
Mounting a full frontal.
Yep. I know. It's like, what the hell? Why don't you calm down?
That's great.
But let me close it this way. There is a group of people, and again, look, I could not be more grateful to the people of Minnesota that aren't in charge, that listened and supported me and my family. It's been wonderful. You're great people, but the people in charge love it when people kiss their ass. Have you ever noticed that?
Oh yeah,
they love that.
I think that kind of goes for everybody. Everybody likes, I guess, a little boost of the ego every once in a while, but there's some people that definitely take it to the next level where, oh, if you just tell me how great I am, I'll help you out and do whatever you need for me.
Could you even see me ever kissing somebody's ass?
Oh God, no.
It's just not going to happen. It's not how I grew up. It's a whole different deal. But yeah, so okay, let me see how we did here. Clicking the friendliest and most fun. And look, let's not walk away thinking I do not hate Minnesota. It's the people in charge that I do not like in the state. They're just not nice people. Never have been, actually. You probably haven't made travel plans based on how friendly the locals are to outsiders in a certain state, but that can have an impact on how your trip goes. Newsweek has a ranking of all 50 states based on how friendly they are to tourists, according to a survey of travelers on social media. And if the states in the Northeast have a reputation for being rude, this will not help. New York was named the rudest state in America. Yeah, rude, I would agree. It's very rude. I love it. It's like I said, the pricks in charge here in Minnesota, I don't like them, but I love Minnesota.
Yeah, the mass
Same
population for the most part is fine. It's I get what you're saying.
No, you're absolutely right. So yeah, they ranked all this stuff. New York was named the rudest state in America, followed by Arkansas. I've never had anybody rude to me in Arkansas. That's kind of weird.
I've never been, but now I'm going to steer clear.
Ooh, the East Coast ain't doing too well. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I bet.
You got New York, Arkansas, Delaware, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Hampshire. And then, of course, they throw in, these are the rudest states: Washington, Nevada, Florida, and Rhode Island.
Rhode Island?
I know Rhode Island, there's about 4 people living there. Although Michael Bryan's from Rhode Island, so he's as rude as a sumbitch. There's no question.
Yeah, absolutely.
No single area of the country dominated the friendliest states list, so there wasn't a Southern hospitality, although a few Southern states did make it. Now, so we got the rudest place in America is New York, and pretty much the upper north, the northeast of this country, I think, is the rudest.
Yeah.
But you throw in Washington. I've only been to Spokane, Washington. The people couldn't have been nicer. They were very, very nice people. But that was only in one town right there on the border of Idaho, which is a great state too. But I've never had anybody be rude to me in Florida. That's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like if you're like a high tourist destination, you get fed up with tourists, and then the locals may be a little more hostile towards people that they're like, I just wish all of you would leave our beaches alone.
Yeah, there you go.
Not quite to what's happening in where was it? Barcelona.
Oh
right
yeah,
now. Did you see
spraying
that?
water guns at people.
What are they doing that for?
Just like with the influx of tourism right now at some of the very tourist landmark restaurants, when people are sitting out on the patio having like their lunch or dinner or whatever, they have just water guns and they're just shooting it out, just like, go home. Get out of here.
Oh, well. See, now here you go. 0 states in the Northeast made the cut of the friendliest states in America. And you were right. According to the results, the friendliest state in America is Minnesota. And I think, once again, that has to do with the people of Minnesota are very nice. It's the people in charge that are a massive pain in the ass. So I suppose that in your travels, you wouldn't really run into them.
No, you're going to, you're stopping in Minneapolis and you're interacting with like the local eateries and stuff like that, or you're going to Nisswa and you're walking around downtown Nisswa and seeing the sights and everything like that, or you're up to Duluth and everything.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily running into the Grand Poobah.
Yeah, I think
that's true.
If you walk around downtown Minneapolis and you're from out of town and you stop and you ask somebody, hey, where is such and such? They're gonna be like, hey, it's 2 blocks down.
Yeah,
take a left.
Yeah.
If you're in New York, they're like, what, you don't have a damn phone? Why don't you figure it out yourself, you a-hole? And then they just keep walking.
That's pretty much true.
Yeah.
That's pretty much true. Okay, so your top 10 of the nicest states are Hawaii. Well, why wouldn't you be nice in Hawaii, for Christ's sake? The weather's magnificent. It's beautiful.
Hard to be an asshole on a tropical island.
I would have to agree with you on that one. Oklahoma, I could see that. Kansas, Colorado, Indiana, Wyoming, Texas, South Carolina, and Tennessee. I would go with most of those. And like I said, it has to do with who's in charge and who isn't in charge. But Minnesota was, and I could see why, if you're just running into people on the street, it would be a very, very friendly state. That is true.
Yeah.
So I could see that Minnesota would be the friendliest state in America. It's just, like I said, unless you have to deal with the people in charge, they're not the nicest people I've ever dealt with. I'll tell you that. Well, you guys seen it happen. This whole, oh, he's this and he's that. I have absolute proof that's not true. You're a goddamn liar, but people like to believe that stuff, don't they?
Oh yeah. Especially if it's printed in a newspaper or online or said on TV, then it's 100% facts.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's exactly right. They think what's ever on television is a fact. Yep. It's like, settle down. Well, the last interview I did with the Star Tribune, guy that I know pretty well, and, I had just been fired, which, of course, they said I retired, which I'm still having a problem with. Because, well, let me give you an example. I met with Sean Carney. He's one of the guys I know. He works at Bell Bank. Great guy. Real nice guy. I had lunch with him yesterday. Oh, Ciao Bella was incredibly good. God, Ciao Bella is a good restaurant.
Is that the one that's closing down, right?
It is?
Nope, maybe not. Different restaurant?
God, I hope not. It was packed. I'll tell you that. I was there for lunch and it was full. But so there's an Italian place closing down?
What was the other one that you go to all the time in Eden Prairie, Edina? That's closing down.
Oh, you're talking about I can't remember the damn
Camplia or something like.
Yeah, it is.
Shoot,
it is something
Campione or something like that.
Yeah, that did shut down.
Okay,
that closed down in January or something. I think maybe something like that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. No, Ciao Bella is the one that's over on Minnesota Street. It's kind of like York and Minnesota, kind of in that general area. But here's an example. So this is a guy I've talked to. He's a guy I've known for a while, done business with him for several years. We sit down at lunch. He goes, "So, God, you must be a happy guy." I said, "Why is that?" And he goes, "Well, God, you're retired." But he's a guy I know that thought I was retired. So I still have to figure out a way to get around this. Can you guys help me figure out a way to get around it? And like I said, I'm not getting up on a water tower. I'm not coming down until everybody knows I'm not retired.
I think you just got to get out there and get a job, Tom.
Just get a real job. You mean?
Yeah, you're just sitting on your butt all day. I mean, you're not really doing anything.
Yeah, I forgot to sit around my ass and do nothing.
How much does it cost to get one of those planes that like drags like a banner and then you like fly it over the state fair that just says like Tom is not retired?
Maybe I should do that. That's a great. Okay, who do I get a hold of? Because I know they still fly them. I just saw one the other day.
Yeah, I guess. Do any listeners have their pilot's license and or a plane that we could borrow?
And make a flag for free.
Yeah. What is that even called? Like a plane advertising?
Yeah. What is that? Because I did see it, and it was for High Noon, the liquor.
Yep.
Yeah,
I see that one fly all the time.
Flags, so I mean, people would notice that. You're absolutely right.
High Exposure Inc. They cost you. They run you about $500 to $3,000 per flight, depending on where you're flying over.
Okay. All right. Well, who do we have to talk to in Hubbard?
So is that $3,000 per appearance, or do you get a few appearances?
Depends on how massive the audience is going to be. It's as low as $400 per flight, depending on the location.
Yeah, but that's if they fly over Long Prairie.
I'm not sure.
2,000 people total.
And I'm sure there's probably some like security issues with flying a plane over the state fair, but
yeah, maybe
we could work that out.
Details.
I honest to God, I would spend, if they would do that for $3,000 a day, I probably would spend it every day of the fair. What'd that be, about 21 grand? Don't tell Catherine, though. Don't tell Catherine I'd be doing this. That's, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I wonder how much it costs to have a banner made.
That's probably about as expensive as the flight.
It probably is.
Honestly.
I would think so. But just put on there, Tom Barnard is not retired. Tom Barnard Podcast, Hubbard Corporation. Maybe I'll make Jenny pay for half of it. What do you think?
Yeah, the Hubbard's got a couple extra dollars floating
for
around.
Christ's sake, let's go. Get off your ass, right? Well, speaking of get off my ass, I suppose we better take a break here. We'll come back and complain more right after this. Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Austin Bartz of Bartz Lawn and Landscape and Bartz Snow Sculptures.
I started banking with North American, I think, 3.5 years ago. All the people know me by name. I know them by name. It's fun to come into the bank and actually talk to somebody you know. So I made the switch and I'm very happy. It's the best bank I've ever been at.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or do what I do and stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We're working the whole deal. Yeah, I got to figure out how I mean, I suppose I could just do it, but I got to figure out how to do it, when to do it. I wonder if they probably wouldn't allow it to fly over the state fair, though. I wouldn't think.
No, I see one every year, though, or I see like a couple in my times working out there. And it's like, I think they're technically, there's a clearance of, you can fly close enough to where you can probably still see it, but it's not.
You can't go over
exactly.
the actual state fair.
I wouldn't think so.
But you can fly around it.
Yeah.
You can fly around. You can just go keep circling the state fair.
Doing that.
Yeah, I got to get that message out. I mean, we're still ticking up, I'm assuming. I haven't taken a gander at it in a while.
Same here, actually. I should get on that.
Oh, it's really great, you guys, keeping a real eye on things for me. That's
keeping
perfect.
it locked down and tight.
That's magnificent, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I want to jump onto this very quickly. I have not opened this story yet, either. The best songs of the 90s. Do you guys have a best song of the 90s in mind? And I'm trying to think of what I mean, that's 25 years ago already.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I think Mbop has got to be in like the top 5 because that was hugely popular in the 90s. So that's got to be on the list. I would assume like a California Love is probably on there.
I do love that song. It's the only rap song I've ever liked.
Michael, there's got to be a half a dozen Michael Jackson songs.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah.
Mbop. That was the name of that band again?
Hanson.
Oh, Hanson. There
Backstreet Boys are probably on there. Maybe a Britney Spears jam here and there.
I feel like you're gonna get like maybe like a Nirvana or something like that.
Yeah, Nirvana maybe.
Because they were 90s, right?
Yeah, but I think it was too early for like the Fallout Boy, like Avril Lavigne generation of like pop rock type stuff. So
I'll go with California Love. I'm gonna agree with you on that one. That's one of the best song of the 1990s, California Love. It's a damn good song. It's about being positive.
Yeah,
you know, not a lot of rap songs are positive.
No, but there is now a subgenre of rap that is like more positive.
Oh, is
but
there
it's
really?
It's not as popular.
Yeah,
because people like watching the news for violence. People like listening to music for struggles and stuff like that.
Well, plus the Tang. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that too. Don't forget about that.
Don't forget about the Tang, man. That's a big part of it all. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Really quick, wasn't that a like a mix-in orange drink?
Yes,
that was like a Kool-Aid.
But there was no poon in front of that one.
Did they know they were doing that?
Was
I just a dumb kid? Okay, sorry.
I don't know if I doubt Tang.
It's a kick in a glass, I believe, was there.
A kick in a glass.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, boy. All right.
Have some Tang on me. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we got the 15 top songs of the 90s. Wonderwall, Oasis.
Yes.
Yeah.
A classic.
Good song. How about Gold Sounds by Pavement? Never even heard of that.
I don't think I'm familiar.
What is Gold Sounds with a Z by Pavement? I've never even heard of that song.
Huh.
You haven't either?
No.
I'm trying to Gold Sounds by
No Scrubs by TLC.
There we go. That's solid.
that's
There you go.
that's a good one.
Criminal by Fiona Apple.
Okay.
Juicy. Oh, Notorious B.I.G.'s on here. Juicy. Only Shallow by My Bloody Valentine. I've never even heard of some of these songs. I got no idea who that is.
I'd heard of the group or the artist, but not the song.
Yeah.
Beastie Boys, Sabotage. There you go.
Okay.
Bikini Kill, Super Duper Fly. I never even heard of that song.
Oh,
either.
Missy Elliott. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not surprised you haven't heard of that one.
Yeah. Bikini Kill had Rebel Girl. I should have pointed that out. Cannonball by the Breeders. Top 5 songs of the 90s. Oh, there's one I can't say on the air. I'll change it.
Okay.
Okay, you got top 5 or Around the World by Daft Punk. Never heard of it.
Daft Punk. Yep. That's like
Daft Punk, excuse me.
That's weird because they only say that phrase and it's like a 6-minute song.
Yeah, it's 6 minutes of them going around the world, around the world.
Oh, no wonder I hated it. I hate these damn songs.
That was actually really good.
Oh, he had it dialed in, did he?
Surprisingly good. Like the full commitment.
There you have it. So Around the World by Daft Punk. Then number 4 would be Liz Phair. Do you know the song by Liz Phair that made it in the top 5?
I'm not sure who Liz Phair is.
I'm not either, but the song is called, well, I can't say the word, F and Run.
Okay.
It's a pretty popular song. Got the F-bomb in it. There you go.
Interesting.
All right.
Nothing But a G-Thang by Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg.
Deserved.
Fantasy by Mariah Carey.
Okay. There we go.
And it's pretty tough to beat number 1. It's a damn good song. Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. That is a pretty damn good song.
Who put this list together?
It's put together. Doesn't say who put
Doesn't
it
say?
together. Esquire magazine.
Oh, okay.
Is Esquire. That's an older audience. Is that what you're saying?
No, but they didn't go kind of the stereotypical, just take the top pop songs and put them on.
Usually what I
a
feel
list.
like a Rolling Stone
Yep.
almost does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so you just think they left a lot of stuff out that they should have put in there?
There's some clearly not because if these are the top songs, then but it sounds like these are, to my knowledge, not like the typical radio hits.
Yes.
Like it's deeper cuts in that.
Yeah.
sense. So,
Yeah, I could see that.
that being said, if you can't really play F and Run on drive time.
Yeah, can you play F and Run on drive time? That's a very, very good point. I suppose you can now do that. Back in the day, you couldn't, but maybe now you can.
Yeah, I don't think you can go with the big F-bomb on radio, but they've definitely loosened up what you can get away with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that is true. There's another headline, but I don't want to read it until Kristyn Burtt joins us because I think I might agree with Jason Aldean on something he said this week. There's a possibility.
Is he talking about his truck?
Nope, he's talking about social media.
Oh, okay. I just assume it's a country guy. He's probably talking about a truck.
Well, yeah, they do talk a lot about their trucks. That's very, very true. Well, I'll just give you the headline. Jason Aldean says we should get rid of all social media. Good luck trying to do that, Jason.
A lot of people out of jobs, Jason.
Bro, so you have to pry it out of my cold, dead hands.
Yeah, there you go. There you have it. We'll take a break. Be right back. Kristyn Burtt joins us right after this.
I've been tracking the weather in Minnesota for a long time. I'm 5 Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Ken Barlow. In the morning, I've got to be right because my forecast affects your family's entire day. And in the evening, you can count on my friend, Ren.
That's right, Ken. I'm 5 Eyewitness News evening meteorologist Ren Claire. And as a Minnesotan, I know our weather can be tricky. Throughout the day and into the night, I've got you covered with an accurate forecast to help keep your family safe and ready for any weather.
And don't forget, no matter how things change or what time of day, you'll always get our forecast first at the start of every newscast on 5 Eyewitness News. Start your day with me, Ken Barlow.
And wrap up your day with me, Ren Claire.
Because 5 Eyewitness News is always tracking our weather. So you're always alerted first. It's why 5 Eyewitness News is Minnesota's weather authority.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast. And I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Kristyn, Jason Aldean says we should shut down all social media. What do you think?
Great idea in theory, not going to happen.
This is never going to happen, is it?
Never going to happen. And he's also a very active Instagram user, I will say.
Oh, really?
And his wife, yes.
So he's very active, but he wants to shut it down anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, Kristyn, you're kind of tainted in a way because you saw social media at its best back when I used to drink.
Oh, I wish I had saved those. Those were, I could be like, today, let us read one of Tom's tweets, 2:38 a.m.
I'm going to kill you.
Wouldn't that have been fun? No, I just remember there were like a lot of exclamation points and a lot of all caps.
You son of a bitch. And all
the worst. The worst. At least I don't remember the content. So that's the good news.
Yeah, that's probably the good news.
It was a rant and a rave, as I like to say.
Yes, I do understand that. There's no question about that. So what's happening with you?
Well, today, hopefully, maybe for some people, this will be a nice little way to save a bit of money. We officially have our first bundle out there when it comes to streaming. Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max bundle is officially here as of today. it will cost you $16.99 per month for all three with ads, or $29.99 per month with no ads. So it's about a 35 to 38% savings. So if you are subscribing to all three of those separately, now's the time to go and have a little extra money in that bank account.
Okay, so now what are the three again?
Disney Plus,
Okay.
Hulu,
Okay.
and Max.
Oh, that is a good cap.
I think this is a really good bundle because
It is, yeah.
for me, like Max is always like that prestige TV. You got the best documentaries on there. You've got classic series. I mean, if you want to go back and watch all The Sopranos or anything else, you got that there. Hulu, to me, is delivering probably some of the best TV shows out right now, like currently. All the Emmy winners that you want to see, they're all right there on Hulu. And then Disney Plus, you've got the kids, you've got the grandkids, you've got classics. You've got everything you need on Disney Plus in terms of movies and TV shows.
So do you know if I subscribed to Hulu and they already had like a ESPN Disney Plus bundle.
Yep.
So if I have the live TV, that bundle now, do I just automatically get HBO with it, or do I have to go in and
you have to go in and now sign up for the bundle?
Okay.
Yeah. You're gonna have to actively do something with your account. It just doesn't transition to it, because what they're trying to do is they notice that when people sign up for bundles, they actually retain the customers more than if someone signs up for a single service, because oftentimes they will cancel in say 60 days because they're there to just watch one TV show. So they think if they hook you in with a ton of content, you will stay around a lot longer.
All right, I've been saving this one the entire show just for Kristyn Burtt. This is a real headline. I'm not going to read the story, but it's an actual headline. And apparently there's a viral video that goes along with it. Somebody is claiming that this is happening, but the people at Wise Brothers say, no, it's not true. Somebody has posted a story that claims that Disney World has banned farting. How would you ban farting? How will you control somebody who's going to lay down a bunt, right?
I mean, if you stand in that line long enough, someone is gonna crop dust you. I mean, if you are there, if you're in like August when it's 100 degrees and 100% humidity, you might be dying. You better hope that line is not outside either, because you better hope like at least you're in AC so things will breeze by fast.
Somebody's gonna crop dust you. You're absolutely right about they are. You're right. So it's impossible to ban farting. People are gonna fart.
That's a natural body habit. You cannot stop a fart.
I guess it's absolutely true. So moving on to real important news now. I like your take on it though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you know, it's so funny because now Disney used to not have like great food, but now they've created food stations and they want to be part of that whole like viral TikTok situation. And so people oftentimes, like if you go to Epcot, you drink around the world or you eat around the world. There is going to be a lot of farting if you're mixing up all these different types of foods. So I actually think that Disney is encouraging farting and not.
Well, you'll get no argument from me. There's no question.
The happiest place to fart on the earth.
Yes, that Disney World, no question. So, well, Kath and I are going through a situation again, looking for shows. We've been watching Palm Royale, which we both really like. I can see how some people wouldn't like it though. But Kath and I have been around that area for almost 30 years now. It's pretty well played out. I mean, that's how some of those people do actually act.
It's delightful. And the cast is phenomenal. Like I cannot, and also just like having Carol Burnett, she's 90 and still to me at the top of her career. She's incredible. I absolutely adore that. Kristen Wiig is an incredible talent. And I'm glad that they're getting a season 2. I'm really happy about that.
Allison Janney's in it. She's terrific.
Janney's great. Mindy Cohn. For some people are like, who's Mindy Cohn? She was on The Facts of Life when she was a kid.
Right.
She's still out there killing it. And she's a fun interview to watch if anyone really hasn't captured or seen her personality really captured. And she's a lot of fun, and she's in the news today because I guess that she and the cast were working with Norman Lear when he was alive during the pandemic to bring The Facts of Life back somehow. And one of them went rogue and just tried to get their own spin-off without the other women. The other women are Nancy McKeon, Kim Fields, and Lisa Whelchel. And so Mindy Cohn was like, called her a greedy bitch. And you have to do it in her voice because she's like, she talks up here. It's like that. I can't do it, but you know what I'm talking about. And she said, just go and take a look at my social media account. You will see who the greedy bitch is because she's not featured in any of my photos. So if you just go and look, she's been hanging around with Kim Fields. She's been hanging around with Nancy McKeon. So by process of elimination, it looks like allegedly the greedy bitch is Lisa Whelchel.
It seems like it.
Allegedly.
I have a question for you. And this was a long time ago. I was a much younger person. I remember as a young girl, she was a very beautiful young girl, Lisa Whelchel.
Lisa Whelchel was like stunning. Like
Stunning.
that classic,
Yep.
like 80s California blonde with like the
Yep.
big feathered hair. It would be like the teen version maybe of Farrah Fawcett.
Yeah,
That's what I would
that's a
think
good
of.
way to put it.
Yeah. And she was on the Mickey Mouse Club. They had done another version of the Mickey Mouse Club, I think in the early 80s. She was on that. And then she went to Facts of Life. Super beautiful.
She was on Survivor. She was on this show.
She was. That's right.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's
No
right.
question about it.
Yeah. So allegedly, she went behind their backs to try and get her own series. And now none of them are talking to her. So there's like a little Facts of Life squabble. I'm so glad you brought up Mindy Cohn today.
Yeah, Mindy Cohn. She's having a fit about it. I love the fact she's having a fit about the whole thing.
She's delicious. She's delightful. And and the Facts of Life reboot, revival, whatever it is, it's been squashed. And obviously Norman Lear passed too. So he was kind of the big promoter of like bringing that back. So I don't think it's going to happen now.
Was because of a weight gain by some of the crew. Was that Variety that called it the Fats of Life? Remember that?
They were awful to those girls. You have to remember they're teens to early 20s, but from like the first season, a lot of them were like just on the verge of puberty or just going through puberty. And then as the seasons go on, they developed into women. It happens. You get curves,
Right.
And they started calling all of them like awful things.
They did.
And you feel like, terrible things. And so all of them were on diets, which of course the diet culture of the 80s and 90s was extremely unhealthy and probably created. I mean, if you talk to them all individually, they've spoken about it, the body dysmorphia or eating disorders or just even disordered eating, even if it doesn't like turn into like a full-blown bulimia or anorexia. Really, really sad. And that narrative, honestly, even outside of Facts of Life, kind of continued into the early aughts. And the one good thing, if you want to talk about the good things that the Kardashians and Jennifer Lopez did, was embracing the curves. And, it's okay to have a little booty.
Yeah. I understand completely. I just, have people gotten better with that? The like you said, the Hollywood Reporter or whatever, they don't seem to be as vicious now as they used to be. Are they?
They're not. I mean, I've been around in entertainment long enough to really have seen the narrative turn. And like sometimes we'll do let's say we're doing a headline and you're trying to figure out eye-catching, but also grab SEO. But sometimes you read something and you're like, wow, that sounds really mean. And you're not intentionally being mean. So oftentimes we will retool it just to soften it and things like that. So I would definitely say that there's a dialogue and a discussion. And doesn't mean it's gone away, but there's definitely more dialogue about it.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it just, because you're successful, you need to be shredded and ripped apart. That always has bothered me.
Well, that's exactly it. And Tom, I bet you've seen this in your career. Once you reach the top, they cannot wait to flick you off. And, I'll show him he's gotten too big for his britches, that kind of thing. Yeah. And it happens all the time. I think the narrative is worse for women. Unfortunately, we're harder on women than we are on men in the public eye. And I mean, you just all of a sudden take a look at the political scene. You get Kamala on the ticket, and suddenly her sex life plays into whether she's fit for president. But I'm like, I would also say then we got to start keep on discussing Donald Trump's sex life. I mean, you're gonna have to go tit for tat on this. I mean, but you can't go saying, "Oh, she's a slut." I mean, listen, he's had a very active private life as well.
He has indeed.
And either we just embrace it and be like, "Go all of you for having fun," or just drop it all together because it doesn't serve anybody.
Do you think that part of that has to do with the fact that the average human being doesn't have that kind of life?
Yeah, I think fame and fortune.
Yep.
It brings a lot of jealousy for people who are in the bubble of Hollywood, and outside of it, people, especially oftentimes when people are there with you from the beginning and they start seeing your rise of it, be like, they used to be so accessible. They used to respond to fans. Yep. But for anyone who's had any sort of success in the public eye, you do become more guarded because people do start coming after you. And for your own mental health, you kind of have to just put up a little bubble around yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think of someone like, I don't know how someone like a Jennifer Lopez or a Taylor Swift lives in the public eye, because that is stressful.
What do we figure out? She's been married 4 times now or something?
Let's see. Wait, she had Ohani Noah, Chris Judd, Ben Affleck, and Mark Anthony. Yeah, that's four marriages.
She's been married 4 times. Maybe you're not very good at this. Maybe that's what it is.
You know what? She's having her hot girl summer. She looks fabulous. She's out in the Hamptons riding her bike and eating organic food. She looks happy. Ben actually looks happy, just not having the paparazzi around him constantly. So maybe this just wasn't meant to be that, that love reboot. Shouldn't have happened.
I guess. It was a reboot too. That's true.
Yeah. And it's funny because it seems like a lot of the same issues that happened in 2003 are cycling back in 2024. It's just, she loves the public eye. He does not. So how do you do that? And, when the two of them go out together, automatically the paparazzi are going to show right up.
It's true. There's no question about that. All right. Anything else we need to know about?
Homicide Life on the Street. I just wanted to mention that is back.
Really?
Yes. And it took a really long time for them to get the rights to it because, similar to Moonlighting, all of those music rights issues came into play. And so it took them some time to sort that out because, back in the 90s and 80s, they were like, let's put on all these amazing songs and this would be great. Not thinking that, oh my God, years later, we'll be able to watch these over and over again. And created kind of a whole situation where people are like, well, artists deserve to be paid for their songs too. So some things have been replaced and some rights were actually worked out with the artists, but it is back. It is streaming on Peacock. So, Peacock is actually getting some good stuff. So I'm kind of excited for them. Besides the Olympics, a lot of the shows on there are pretty strong and got Suits LA officially. Tevin,
a huge Suits guy,
but it's coming.
It's funny that you bring up the Olympics. I saw that breakdancing is going to be in the LA ones, and so you obviously being in kind of the dance community, what's been some of the reaction from people about? Are they excited for breakdancing to kind of make it an Olympic debut?
So it's making its Olympic debut in Paris, believe it or not.
Oh, it's in Paris. Okay.
Yes. So here's the exciting thing. So it'll be on the second week of the Olympics that you can look forward to. It's called breaking, not break dancing, just so everybody knows. Break dancing kind of like was a weird 80s term for it, but it's the modern term is breaking. And their B-girls and B-boys are the dancers. I just interviewed Logistics, who is one of our Team USA members. And some people will know her. If you ever watch World of Dance, she was one of the $1 million winners in season 2 with the Lab. There's this amazing dance group. And I think people are going to really like it because they're actually dance battles. So they actually battle it out and challenge each other. It is a judge sport. So again, it's going to be subjective, but I think it's going to do really well because people oftentimes fall off once gymnastics and swimming are over. There's track and field, but there's not really that secondary sport that everyone really tunes into. Maybe some basketball, but I think breaking might be a breakout sport.
There you have it. You said Hamas. Was that?
Sorry, I had to hit a rim shot for that. That was great.
Oh, you did hit a rim shot.
Did you like that?
Yeah, that was very, very nice. Homicide Life of the Streets. That was Richard Belzer, wasn't it?
Richard Belzer was in that, and Andre Braugher, so good.
Yep.
So good. So if you haven't watched the show, now's a great opportunity to catch up on that. Veep is going crazy right now. That's another show that everyone is revisiting, and you've got a lot of seasons to like kind of dive into. This next week is going to be a little bit quiet in terms of like new shows, next 2 weeks or so because of the Olympics, but we do have Unstable coming back. Rob Lowe and his son, John Owen. He's coming back on Netflix. That'll be good.
I don't know if I can do Homicide: Life on the Streets without Richard. I loved Richard Belzer. I thought
he's alive in the show.
In the show, he's still alive. That's true. But
yeah.
We lost him. He said one of the funny. I'll close with this. One of the funny. He used to come in studio and just sit around and schmooze with us back on the KQ show back in the days. And all of a sudden, he came in one day and he said, "You guys got Garrison Keillor here." And by the way, I've known Garrison a long time. It's not like we're acquaintances, nice guy to talk to. But he said, you got Garrison Keillor here. And I said, yeah. And he goes, I do a perfect Garrison Keillor impression. I said, you do? He goes, yeah, you want to hear it? This is live on the air. I'm like, yeah, sounds good. And he goes, I was walking in farm country the other day, and as I walked along, I glanced at a farmhouse, and in the yard of the farmhouse, there was a rooster. And when the rooster saw me, he ran over and shoved a garden hose up his ass. I was like, what? What? Where did you come up with that? But that's Richard Belzer right there. That's Richard Belzer.
Took a left turn.
Yeah, it's a big left turn. Like, what?
We're like, wait a minute, what?
I don't think I remember Garrison ever doing that particular speech, but that is just me. You know what I mean? All right, young lady, we will talk to you tomorrow.
I won't be here tomorrow. I'm sorry.
Oh, where's that now? What?
Sorry. I'm on set tomorrow. I will be back on Monday.
On what set?
I'm shooting a commercial.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
No, I'm sorry, you guys.
Hi, Kristyn Burtt here for fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
Do we know what the product is already? Can you share that or no?
I can share it when it comes out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I was like, I'll let you guys know.
Okay,
for sure.
here's me tomorrow at basically about 9:15.
I'm sorry. But I will be back on Monday. I did let Tevin and AJ know. I'm here on Thursday. I'm back to regular schedule on Monday, but I do have a 6:30 a.m. call time tomorrow. So
big shot.
Big shot. I know. So fancy.
So fancy. No question about it. All right. We'll see you in about, I guess, 72, 98 hours. What is it?
Oh my gosh. We will be deep into gymnastics, and you're going to hear all my Simone Biles stuff. You're going to be like, oh my gosh.
Could you do an impression of Garrison Keillor too? Just following his lead.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, yeah. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.
No, I'm going to be here on Monday.
Oh, that's right. Tomorrow. I keep thinking it's Friday today. Why do I keep thinking it's Friday?
No, yeah. I'm not going to be here on Friday, but I will be here on Monday.
Okay, we'll talk to you on Monday.
Thanks. You all have a great weekend.
Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC equal housing lender. How can we do a show without Kristyn Burtt? How is it possible?
I don't know, but it looks like we have Monday off, I guess. Like, she's the straw that stirs the drink.
Yeah,
what
right.
Do we do?
Right. You guys want to take a guess? Like, what do you think the product is? She can't tell us, but we can speculate.
I have no idea. I hope it's something that like doesn't fit her at all.
Well, Tevin just told me he thought it was feminine napkins.
Feminine napkins. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
What he was telling me.
My initial thing was like a Capital One card or something like that. But I could see her in like a fizzy drink commercial, like a bubbly or something like that.
Yep.
She's such a big shot. You know what I mean?
Major star.
We're about to have like a Kristyn Burtt reporter that just reports on what she's doing.
I like
she's such an A-list celebrity.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, that is going to do it for this show. Back in 10 minutes with the family.